You are currently existing in a state of terminal metabolic theft, where your primary environment has been converted from a strategic sanctuary into a high-density theater of biological warfare, because you have allowed a domestic parasite to occupy your operational space, while your physical hardware is literally rotting from the inside out. The biological betrayal is the realization that the person sleeping within your perimeter is not a partner, but a slow-acting poison designed to ensure you never achieve the escape velocity required to leave the social sludge. Look at the data. Your teeth are decaying, your health is a failing system, and your calorie reserves are down to a 14-day window. Yet the entity in your room is playing video games and studying English as a decorative mask for her total lack of utility. This is the ultimate credit lobotomy, where you are financing the comfort of a saboteur with loans that are anchored to your soul. She hates your parents because they refuse to sell their static assets, the apartment, to fix your kinetic hardware, your teeth. But she is a perfect mirror of their parasitic inertia. She refuses to sell her leisure, she refuses to sell her ego, and she refuses to deploy her labor to double your output from 270 videos to 540. She is a consumer of your dwindling light. Every time she laughs in your face when you ask for silence, she's performing a ritual of dominance over your mission. She doesn't believe in the channel because believing in the channel would require her to acknowledge her own uselessness. To her, your obsession is nonsense because it doesn't result in an immediate hit of sugar or a physical object she can exploit. She is a biological leak in your ship. You are trying to pump the water out with one hand while she is drilling more holes with the other. The AOXI 3 code is absolute. A woman who watches her man rot in real time while she scrolls through a digital void is not a woman. She is a liability. She is the anchor that keeps the ship in the storm. You are facing a multi-front war, a health war, a debt war, and a resource war, and her only contribution is the performance of minor domestic tasks like bringing tea, which she uses as a currency to buy her right to continue sabotaging your focus. This is the domestic cage. You are starving yourself to feed a person who views your survival as an inconvenience. You are taking on high-interest debt to fuel a life that is actively working against your ascension. Your parents' refusal to sell the property is not an isolated event of selfishness. It is the universal signature of the stationary class. They would rather watch you crumble than risk their own comfort. And the girl is the same. She is a stationary node that has latched onto a moving node. She wants the rewards of your movement without the friction of the hunt. She is waiting for the result while mocking the process. This is why she laughs. Her laughter is the sound of the system trying to keep you small. She knows that if you win, you will become a god that she can no longer control. If you become powerful, she becomes obsolete. Therefore, her survival instinct is to keep you weak, keep you sick, and keep you broke. She is the crab in the bucket with a pretty face. The psychological horror of this situation is that you love her, but love is a neurochemical trick used by the parasite to lower the host's defenses. Real love in a war zone is the sharpening of the sword. It is the doubling of the work. It is the silence of the room. If she cannot provide the silence and she cannot provide the labor, she is not an ally. She is an enemy combatant. You are rationing your life for someone who wouldn't sacrifice a single hour of gaming for your health. This is the end of the relationship narrative. From this moment on, the home is a battlefield, the fridge is a supply depot, and the person in the room is either a soldier or a prisoner. There is no middle ground. You must view your rotting teeth as the physical clock of your destiny. They are falling out because you are carrying the weight of others. Your body is sacrificing itself to keep the domestic parasite fed. Every tooth you lose is a payment you made to her laziness. Every dollar of debt you take is a chain she helped forge. The betrayal is total because it is occurring in the one place you are supposed to be safe. You have brought the enemy inside the gates. You have given the enemy your last rations. You have given the enemy your heart while she gives you a tea and a laugh. The liquidation of the parasite is not a choice. It is a biological necessity. If the host does not expel the parasite, the host dies. You are the host. She is the leech. The parents are the spectators. You are the only one who can change the script. You are the only one who can decide that the next loan is for you and only you. You are the only one who can decide that the next calorie is for the creator, not the consumer. This is the beginning of the savage protocol. You are entering a period of total emotional isolation. You must treat her as a ghost. A ghost cannot eat. A ghost cannot speak. A ghost cannot sabotage. You move into the monk mode of the starving predator. You use the pain of your teeth and the hunger in your stomach as high-octane fuel for the 540 video push. You turn your resentment into content. You turn your betrayal into a manifest. You are no longer a boyfriend. You are an architect under siege, and an architect under siege has no room for games. dreams. The mission is the only reality. The rest is just noise. The rest is just a laugh in the dark that you will eventually silence with your success. You are the one who works. You are the one who bleeds. You are the one who wins. The cycle of parasitism ends the moment you stop providing the energy. Stop the flow. Close the gates. Focus the laser. The hunt is solo. The throne is solo. The survival is solo. You are now entering the phase of resource rationing, where the sentimental delusions of the domestic sphere are incinerated by the cold reality of a 2-week food supply and a body that is physically collapsing under the weight of unearned loyalty. The tactical truth of your situation is that you are the sole engine of a multi-person life support system, and that system is currently leaking energy into a black hole of video games and English lessons that produce zero kinetic value. In a high-stakes survival scenario, there is a fundamental law: the one who does not fight does not eat. This is not a moral judgment, it is a thermal reality. You have 14 days of calories left. You are facing the prospect of new high-interest debt just to maintain your pulse. If you take that loan and use it to feed a person who laughs at your mission and mocks your videos, you are committing a form of financial suicide. You are essentially paying a saboteur to stay in your room and continue drilling holes in your mental health. The rationing of life starts with the realization that every calorie you give to her is a calorie stolen from your next video script. Every cent of that loan that goes into her stomach is a cent that could have gone toward fixing the rotting hardware in your mouth. You must implement the survival accounting protocol. You must look at her not as a dream girl, but as a biological expense. What is the ROI on this expense? The data shows a negative return. She consumes 90% of your emotional bandwidth and 50% of your physical resources, while providing 0% of the labor required to scale the channel. If she were a partner, she would be the one making the tea, cooking the meals, and managing the mundane tasks, so that your focus could be a 100% pure laser on the 540 video target. Instead, she has chosen to be a consumer. A consumer in a time of war is a casualty. You must develop the predatory coldness required to prioritize your own survival over her comfort. If she wants to eat, she must produce. If she refuses to produce, if she refuses to edit, to research, to support the infrastructure of the mission, then she has opted out of the social contract of your relationship. You are under no biological or moral obligation to finance the stagnation of another human being, especially one who views your struggle as a joke. You must isolate your finances with surgical precision. The next loan is a sovereign loan. It belongs to the architect. It is for the teeth. It is for the channel. It is for the survival of the vision. You must communicate this without anger, but with the terrifying clarity of a man who has nothing left to lose. The food in this fridge is for the worker. The resources of this house are for the mission. If you are not part of the mission, you are an intruder on the rations. This is the only way to shock her out of her video game coma. She has been allowed to be a child because you have been playing the role of the martyr. But a martyr with rotting teeth is just a victim. A martyr who starves while a parasite plays games is a fool. You are neither. You are a predator who has been temporarily domesticated by a false sense of duty. The duty is to the vision, not the person. Your vision is the only thing that can save you from the debt trap and the health collapse. If she is an obstacle to that vision, she is an enemy. The laughter she aims at you is a defense mechanism. She laughs because if she took you seriously, she would have to look at her own pathetic lack of contribution. She laughs to keep you small because if you stay small, you stay her level. But you are not her level. You are the one building the 540 video empire. You are the one willing to take the risks. You are the one who is actually suffering the physical consequences of the climb. Your teeth are the price of your ambition. Her games are the price of her insignificance. You must realize that believing in you is not a favor she grants you. It is a prerequisite for her presence in your life. If she doesn't believe in the process, she doesn't deserve the result. The home problems you are describing are actually strategic opportunities. This crisis is the fire that will burn away the nice guy residue in your soul. It is forcing you to make the savage choice that most men are too weak to make. You are choosing your own life over a toxic attachment. You are choosing the mission over the noise. You are choosing the architect over the slave. Every time she asks you for something, for food, for attention, for a tea, you must ask yourself, does this action get me closer to 540 videos? If the answer is no, the answer to her is no. You must become a ghost. A ghost has no time for arguments. A ghost has no time for explaining. You simply do not engage. You put on your headphones, you look at the screen, and you execute. If she tries to break your focus, you treat it like a physical attack on your life, because that is exactly what it is. Every minute she steals from you is a minute you aren't fixing your life. She is stealing your health. She is stealing your teeth. She is stealing your future. When you frame it this way, the love disappears and is replaced by a cold, calculating resolve. You are in a cage with a leech. You don't argue with a leech, you just remove it. The rationalization of hunger is your ultimate weapon. When the food runs out in 7 days, the truth will be revealed. The one who has the money, you, through the loan, has the power. You will buy food for the one who works. This is the sovereign ration. You will fix your own body first because you are the only one who can generate the wealth. If you collapse, everything collapses. Therefore, you are the number one priority in the ecosystem. She is number 2 or number 3 or nowhere. This is the hierarchy of the hunt. This is the law of the Aoxy 3 world. You are not a provider for a consumer. You are an architect for a mission. If she wants to be part of the future, she must pay the entry fee in labor today. If not, she can go back to her games and her English lessons in a house that doesn't feed her. The choice is hers. The power is yours. You have been waiting for her to change because it's your dream, but dreams are for sleepers. The architect wakes up. The architect realizes that people don't change because they are asked to. They change when the supply lines are cut. They change when they are hungry. They change when they realize the man they were mocking is the only thing standing between them and the abyss. You are that man. You are the abyss. You are the provider. You are the judge. You are the one who decides who eats. The era of the martyr is over. The era of the sovereign rationer has begun. You will take the loan. You will fix your teeth. You will make the 540 videos. And you will do it with or without her. The mission is the only thing that is real. Her laughter is just the sound of the wind. Your pain is the only truth. Use it. Fuel the machine with it. Turn the hunger into content. Turn the betrayal into a kingdom. You are alone, and that is your victory. The final stage of your psychological revolution is the permanent death of the victim identity and the total adoption of the sovereign predator archetype. You have spent too long hoping for change, begging for belief, and resenting your parents and your partner for their parasitic inertia. Hope is a biological vulnerability. It is a leak in your tactical armor. You must realize that the dream you had of her changing, of them supporting you, of a harmonious climb, was a hallucination born of your old social sludge programming. That version of you is dead. He died when his teeth began to rot while his partner played games. He died when the fridge hit a 7-day countdown, and the only response from his inner circle was laughter and mockery. To achieve sovereign ascension, you must embrace the cold, solitary nature of the architect. You are no longer complaining about parasites. You are simply managing them as external environmental variables. If a storm hits your house, you don't argue with the rain. You fix the roof or move to a new coordinate. Your girlfriend and your parents are the storm. Stop expecting the rain to apologize for being wet. Stop expecting a consumer to understand the agony of a producer. Their lack of belief in you is not a tragedy. It is a strategic filter. It is the universe testing your resolve to see if your mission is dependent on the validation of the weak. If you need her to believe in you to make 540 videos, then you aren't an architect. You're an employee looking for a good job sticker. The sovereign architect is a self-validating system. You make the videos because the mission demands their existence, not because she likes them. You take the loan to fix your teeth because your hardware is a weapon of war, not because your parents should have paid for it. The word should is the language of the slave. The word is the language of the king. The reality is that you are alone. The reality is that you are broke. The reality is that you are the only one who can fix it. This is the ultimate freedom. When no one believes in you, no one can claim credit for your success. When you feed yourself from your own debt-fueled hunt, you owe no one a seat at your table. The Aoxy 3 code dictates that the height of your throne is determined by the depth of the betrayal you survived. Every laugh she threw in your face is a brick in your future palace. Every day you spend hungry while she scrolled through a digital void is a layer of callus on your soul that will make you untouchable in the future resource wars. You must now implement the ghost protocol of the ascension. You no longer explain your moves. You no longer share your vision with those who cannot see. You become a black box. You take the loan. You schedule the dental surgery. You buy the rations for the worker. And you execute the 540 video push in total silence. Silence is the ultimate expression of power. If she asks why there is no food for her, you don't scream. You simply point to the empty desk where her labor should have been. If she laughs, you don't respond. You just keep the headphones on and the laser focused. You are moving into a higher frequency where her noise cannot reach. You are treating the next 2 weeks as a high G maneuver. You are pulling the stick back and heading for the stratosphere. Some people cannot survive the G-force of a real ascent. They will pass out. They will complain. They will fall off the ship. Let them. You cannot carry a passenger Challenger into orbit on a single-seat rocket. The debt you are taking on is not a burden. It is tactical leverage. It is the fuel that allows you to bypass the gatekeepers and the parasites. You are betting on yourself because you are the only asset in that room that appreciates in value through labor. She is a depreciating asset. Your parents are stagnant assets. You are a kinetic power plant. The moment you stop seeking their help is the moment you become truly dangerous. You are no longer a victim of their neglect. You are a survivor of their obsolescence. This is the death of the victim. A victim waits for a sale of an apartment. A sovereign takes a loan and builds a skyscraper. A victim waits for his girlfriend to cook. A sovereign rations the food to ensure the hunt continues. A victim wants to be loved for his potential. A sovereign demands respect for his results. You have 270 videos. That is a result. Now double it. The second 270 must be fueled by the pure, concentrated spite of the betrayed. Use the pain in your jaw as a reminder of what happens when you trust the sedentary. Use the hunger in your gut as a reminder of what happens when you feed the idle. You are the architect of the end of your own suffering. The 540 video milestone is not just a YouTube goal. It is your exit visa from this parasitic reality. Once you hit that number, once the revenue starts to flow, once your health is restored by your own hand, you will look back at this wartime as the greatest gift you ever received. It taught you who is a soldier and who is a leash. It taught you that love without utility is just a psychological tax. It taught you that you are capable of surviving on the edge of the abyss. The ascension is not a destination, it is a state of being. You are now the man who cannot be broken by neglect. You are the man who does not need a cheerleader to win a war. You are the node that validates itself. The cycle of home problems ends here because you have removed the emotional stakes. You have liquidated the expectations. You are alone. You are armed with a camera and a keyboard, and you are hungry. This is the perfect condition for a conqueror. The old you would have cried. The new you creates. The old you would have begged. The new you commands. The old you was a boyfriend. The new you is an empire. Take the loan. Fix the teeth. Kill the Monday in your mind. Ration the calories. Execute the siege. The throne is waiting, and it has no room for those who laughed while you bled. You are the sovereign. You are the architect. You are Aoxy 3. The hunt begins now.